Hello everybody! Congratulations on making it through your first week of homeschool, or maybe it's your second week or your third week, however many weeks you're in right now. Our week went pretty well, but it wasn't easy. So some things that I just wanted to share with you that worked well for us or didn't work well for us, and some just kind of tips going forward. So the first thing that I think is most important to say is just to give everyone around you grace, especially the teachers. Like, they are working so hard and they were thrown into this like sight unseen, really. And I'm glad they've taken this week to kind of figure it out. Also, I've noticed that our teachers are starting to post things by the week, which is super helpful. So I can log in and I can see, what topics Kennedy has to do for the week. Starting on Monday, and then that will help me over the weekend pull out activities for her so I can actually teach her this stuff, and then she can continue to do the work that she's supposed to do from school. So just give your teachers so much grace, because they are new to this all just like we are, so they're doing a great job. Also, give yourself grace. Like, we have no clue what we're doing. I was a teacher and I still have no clue what I'm doing. This is different for everybody. Even people that are used to homeschooling, this isn't normal homeschooling for them, because they get out of the house a lot, and everybody's just kind of in the same boat. So if one day you don't do any school, that's totally cool. If the next day you have a great 3 hours, that's awesome too. So don't be too hard on yourself. Whatever gets done, gets done. Just remember that everybody's in the same boat. And lastly, sometimes I find myself giving my kids, or putting too high of expectations on my kids, and I have to remember that this is affecting them probably more than I'm realizing, and it's very difficult for them to be at home with their siblings all day and not be able to get out of the house, and they need to take some time and be able to kind of emotionally understand everything that's going on. So one day they might be having a bad day, and homeschool's just not going to happen. So just give everybody grace around you. I think that's really important. So one thing that worked really well for us this week is that normally during the week we have a no iPad rule, and I decided to keep that involved for this week. That seems to be the source of most of the arguments in my house, or a lot of the arguments in my house. So I decided that this week we are not going to have the iPad. They were able to use their computers for schoolwork, and the iPad if they needed to read a book on there or something, but anything social, they were not allowed to have it. And I really think that for our family that worked awesome. And then today, since it was Friday, I said if we do a really good job and we finish what we need to finish for school early, you guys can have it earlier than your normal 3 o'clock. And so they worked really hard. They got all their stuff done today, and now I'm letting them have their iPad early. So it was a good motivational tool for them. So that worked really well for us. Also, one thing that worked really well is breaking our school into 2 1-hour chunks. So we did a half hour of reading from 8 to 8:30. That way I could set up what we needed to set up for the day. They were doing something productive, and I could be ready to go by 8:30. So they did their first homeschool from 8:30 to 9:30, and we tried to do language arts and social studies during that time. Then we took a full hour break, and we normally went outside. We got a snack, we either sat outside, we did chalk, one day we took a walk, and we went outside for that whole hour, and then we started homeschool again at 10:30, and we went 10:30 to 11:30. So I know if you're trying to work from home and stuff, that's probably not going to work for you, but it really, really helped to break it into 2 1-hour chunks, and then whatever we got done, and whatever we didn't, we didn't. I didn't make them sit and finish for hours and hours on end. I felt like 2 hours was the maximum amount they could sit and concentrate during that time. Also, I found if you have a toddler at home while you're trying to work on homeschool with your elementary school kids, find some free iPad apps, because Pierce, he was good at finishing his activities and working on them, but they took a couple minutes, and then he was done, and he was bothering me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta have something to do. So one of my friends told me that ABC Mouse had a Groupon for 2 free months, so we got that. So now Pierce does activities for 10 or 20 minutes, and then he would just sit on ABC Mouse pretty much the rest of the time. So That was super helpful when trying to manage different abilities at one time. We hope that you followed along with us this week and you got some good ideas from some activities that the kids did. And we're going to continue to post because the kids like it and it keeps them on task, and we finish early because I'm like, we started that video, we got to finish it. So it's super helpful. So make sure you subscribe and watch our videos. We're trying to get to 1,000 views by the end of next week, so that's our goal. So hope you've had some good luck this week, and we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.